Welcome into the WarChant.com postgame podcast from the 9th floor of Doak Campbell Stadium, the press box. 77-6, your final score. Florida State victorious over the Delaware State Hornets. Ryan Kelly and Gene Williams here with you, wrapping it up in a game that went pretty much exactly to script. Florida State got up early. They looked like a far superior talent-wise team start to finish in this game. They got their starters some rest. They were able to move some folks on. So, Gene, overall, every bit what you expected today.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not going to sit here and break down the game that much. This team was massively overmatched. They're one of the, put it nicely, one of the weaker FCS teams you're going to run across. So really we expected a blowout. They got a few more points than we expected, but you never know in games like this just how overmatched they're going to be. But so executed, got the job done. Most important thing, they got to rest a lot of the starters, prepare for that, get them ready for the Florida game, make sure they're fresh. Obviously got some of the young guys on the field. I think that's some of the things we can talk about, some of the young guys, and obviously some really good stories. And I want to get into this. To me, the neatest thing was seeing Justin Motlow get a touchdown in this game. People may not know, he's the first Seminole Tribe member to ever play for Florida State. And then not only get out there, he said he had the first play where he had a ball targeted to him and then be able to get a touchdown and have almost the entire team congratulate him the way they did. You could just tell, and we've got and I'll tell you what, Ryan, if you can tack on the audio, it's about a 2-minute interview we have at the end of this, just so people can listen to that. Yeah. Justin Motlow, we've got it, or you can watch the video up on warchant.com. That's up there right now. But I mean, pretty special moment for him, and then getting to see some young guys out there get some action. Obviously, we got J.J. Constantino out there throwing a lot of balls. You know, Josh Caindoe. What about that? 4 sacks by Mr. Caindoe. And again, hard to judge in this game, but just watching him coming off the ball, getting back in the backfield quickly, doing what he can do, it's pretty exciting to see him play like that.
And he looked every bit as fast and physical as you knew he was going to be when you signed him. Really good ball player. You mentioned it. 4 sacks, of course. That, of course, means 4 tackles for loss, 6 tackles on the day. Defensively, he was really the standout, and you mentioned it. A couple other guys that really stood out when you look at Arthur Williams, who ended up
how about that
2.5 tackles for loss.
Arthur
Yeah,
Williams.
exactly.
That's probably doubling his career tackles for loss. I would think he didn't play that much.
To see some of those guys, and I think you're right. There's no real point in breaking down this game, but I think today was a really cool day for when you're a team that's as talented as Florida State and you play a couple games that you know you should just blow teams out and maybe get some time. They didn't get any time really at all this season. There has not been that game. So to get those guys and get their action, it's a really big deal. And one of those guys that you knew he would eventually get his touches, he'd eventually get his time. And I see you circled it even on the stat book too. Mm-hmm. Ryan Green, what a special day for a guy who's hung around. Has every time, granted it's rare just about anymore, but we get to talk to him. He says all the right things. He's stayed in. He's been loyal to the program, even if you could argue if he should or shouldn't have. But he stayed in, had a great day, literally nets 96 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns on 7 carries, averaged 13.7 yards every time he touched the ball.
That 50-yarder will help you.
Yeah, it will. It will. But even then, just a special day for a guy who stuck it around and stuck it out for a long time here at FSU.
And you're right. It's neat to see that because this is a kid that was talented enough that could have transferred somewhere else and definitely got more playing time than here. That's the one position you can say. What about Florida State? The last couple of years they've been absolutely stocked at running back with a lot of talents. And, he's bounced around, played a little bit at some different positions. He's back at running back for his senior year. To have this kind of game at senior day, it's really a lot for him. To give you a little story, I don't know if you're aware, this was back when a couple of those, Michael Langston does the spring recruiting tours way back in the day. So this was 5-6 years ago, whatever it was, when we were down in the Tampa St. Pete area. And we were going around. We got some of our guys done, and we just called Michael to call him kind of out of the blue, or his parents, I think his dad. Vader called him kind of out of the blue, say, hey, we're here any way we can get up with him. The whole family just dropped what they were doing. They all came out, met us at the high school, and we're just so accommodating and so nice and really good people. And that's a not surprise how he was brought up, that he was in a position that he'd go ahead. He's stuck at Florida State and didn't transfer. And then, again, to have a great day like this to go out. Really good to see Ryan Green finish that way. A kid that you got to wonder, if Dalvin Cook's not at Florida State the last couple of years, maybe we'd have heard a lot more about Ryan Green.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to an extent a victim of circumstance, but overall Florida State puts up a ton of points in this game. They score 56 in one half for the first time since 1992 against Tulane, I believe it was. I kept wanting to say Tulsa, but I know it's Tulane. So all of that being said, this was a game where the script played out completely the way you wanted it to play, the way you want a senior day to go, the way you want a homecoming to go. And now we end up at Florida week. It's here. It's time. And these next 2 weeks, everything on the line for your streak, for what you think about what your season can be and what you can say about a team that had to overcome a lot. It all comes down to these 2 games. A ULM team that for a half took Auburn everything they wanted. Of course, Auburn ends up pulling away and winning somewhat comfortably. But you have that and the Gators coming up. And I think this week went exactly to script if you want to be healthy and in the right mind frame to play them.
Yeah, the way this season's gone, there's absolutely no way ULM's a gimme. I mean, that's a quality team, and they're going to be vying to try to get in a bowl game themselves. You worry about that. Again, I hate to look ahead 2 weeks because everybody's going to be talking about Florida this week, but you would think the mindset of this team, they go down to Gainesville, if they're able to get that win, you think they're going to have the natural, we're playing ULM here, have the letdown, but that team is going to be fighting for their lives. So, I mean, that's going to be a tough one, too. So you got 2 games that are probably almost 50-50 games, like you said, to keep that streak alive, and it's amazing. This is really it. I mean, every possible streak, every possible run, everything you've had under Jimbo Fisher, and even going way back before that, could be completely gone in these next 2 weeks if you don't win them both. And we've talked about all the other streaks. Your dominance against Florida would be gone. You lose your winning streak. Your bowl game streak would be done. It would just be a failure, a 100% failure, if you're not able to win these next 2 games. So obviously there's a lot on the line to salvage something from what's been a really disappointing season. But again, good news here. They did what they're supposed to do today. I didn't see any injuries, anything significant happen from that. So that's good to get your guys healthy, get them a little bit of rest. And it's going to come down to, that's going to be, again, I pointed this out on Twitter. I was glad to see the Fox Sports people brought it up. We tweeted out earlier in the week that this will be the first time, Ryan, since 1959 that Florida State and Florida will play each other with both having losing records. And that is so darn old that I wasn't even born then. That's how old that is, Ryan. So it's been a long, long time that both teams have been down this much.
Looked it up earlier. I believe Perry Moss and Bob Woodruff, I believe I have that right, were the coaches at Florida and Florida State that year. By the way, they both didn't return the next season. And Perry Moss's only season at Florida State, by the way. Anything I'm forgetting, boss man? Parting shots? What you got?
Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I'll just throw a shout-out to War Chant. We're going to, continue to have a lot of stuff. I know everybody wants to kind of look at the coaching stuff that's going on with Florida State. There's the ever-present rumors and reports about Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M. We'll keep you up to date on that. We've got a running thread on the Tribal Council of your subscriber that we will keep you up to date on that as that goes on. And any more nuggets we hear about the assistant coaches. No secret there's going to be some assistant coach changes here in the offseason. I think rather significant ones. I think a good portion of the staff there could be some turnover there. So again, we are doing our best to keep our subscribers fully notified, fully up to date with the latest that we're hearing. So you want to keep it on War Chant for that. And of course, to get ready for that big game, the Florida Gators, a relatively speaking big game. It's a rivalry. So there are bragging rights. I mean, as bad as the season is, I know Florida State fans at least want to be able to hold up their head and run that game and go, hey, we beat you again in Gainesville, getting to be old hat. So, if nothing else, at least if they have that will be something.
So that being said, as Gene already mentioned, stick with warchant.com. We're going to have plenty of stuff coming for you in the next little bit, coaching stuff. Stick around. Justin Motlow right after this. Thanks for talking to us. Thanks for chatting with us. We'll talk to you soon on Wake Up War Chant on Monday, and, of course, all over the weekend on warchant.com.
So they called the play. It was had a flag route. I don't know. I just came off the line, and right when I came out of my break, just time kind of stood still. I saw the ball in the air, and I just knew that this was my big opportunity, and I knew I wasn't going to drop it for anything, and made the play, and I was just the most excited I've ever been.
What was that reaction like when you went to the bench? Obviously, your teammates were pretty psyched up.
Yeah, I mean, the entire team, I feel like, was psyched. Just 4 years of hard work, and it seems like it all paid off in that big moment.
Coming into this game, did you think that this was your chance, like before the game even?
Yeah, I knew this was a good team that we faced, and I just knew that if everybody had done their job and did it well, which we did, we executed the first half like really well. And I knew if everyone just came here today and did what they had to do, I would definitely get a chance to play. And once I got in, I just wanted to make the most out of it.
So were you a little upset you didn't catch the first one that was thrown to you?
Yeah, I was a little upset because it was my first ever career, pass intended to. But I knew that it was early in the game. I knew I was going to get one more chance, and if I got that next chance, I was not going to mess it up. And luckily, I didn't.
make it a little sweeter, you had to lay out for that catch?
Yeah, it did. It did a little bit. It's fun making a diving catch just anytime, not even for a touchdown, but yeah, it made it a little sweeter.
Justin, the first Seminole Tribal member to score a touchdown for LSU.
Yeah, that is just the most amazing honor you could ever feel. Like, I'm so proud to represent my tribe, and I don't even know what to say. The first member to score a touchdown, let alone just play, I mean, it's an exhilarating feeling. Like, it just makes me so happy.
Have you looked at your phone yet?
Yeah, I got a chance to look at it for like 2 seconds after the game. I think I had like 400 text messages. It was blowing up. I haven't really replied to anyone yet, but yeah, it's blowing up.
Do you remember the first couple players that came over and talked to you that congratulated you?
Everything just happened.
Blur?
Yeah, it's a blur. Everything just happened so quick. I was getting slapped on the head by about 40 people at the same time. So, I mean, everyone was just kind of yelling at me, and I was just trying to take it all in, so yeah.